Okay, this is the video if you didn't need to work on domain and range function notation or deciding whether something's a function or not. Instead, we are going to talk about how to make a rule from a table. So we have played silent board game before where I've had missing pieces and then you had to fill in the X rule. For this one, I'm going to teach you how to do this given all the information when you can't necessarily recognize a pattern. So in this one up here, I see, okay, well here it could be multiplied by 4, but that's not true for this. Could be adding 2, that's not true for any of these. Okay, so I can't really recognize any pattern right off the top of my head. I'm going to show you a trick that helps you get started on finding the pattern, okay? And this really is looking at the change in your input values and the change in your output values. So let's look at the change here. We're going from -2 to -1, -1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2. So it looks like we're adding 1 each time in our input. Okay? Well, that's pretty straightforward. But let's look at our outputs. We're not adding 1 this time. -4 to -1, 1 to 2. It looks actually like we're adding 3 each time. -1 plus 3 gives us 2, 2 plus 3 gives us 5, 5 plus 3 gives us 8. So it looks like when our input is going up by 1, our output is going up by 3. And what that really tells us is the change, how our function is growing, And that little piece in our equation ends up being the coefficient of x. So if for every time x goes up by 1, our output comes up by 3, that means it's going to be 3x something. Okay? Now that's not it, right? Because we could take 3 times 1 and get 3, and that's not 5. So maybe we have to add something on there. What we could add possibly might be, 3 to 5 plus 2, and that would give us 5. So what we're thinking is 3x plus 2, question mark. Is that going to work? Well, let's try it. Okay. If I have 3 times 2, that gives me 6, plus 2 gives me 8. Yes. Okay. 3 times 1 gives me 3, plus 2 gives me 5. Perfect. 3 times 0 gives me 0, plus 2 gives me 2. 3 times -1 gives me -3, plus 2 gives me -1. 3 times -2 gives me -6, plus 2 gives me -4. Okay, so it turns out our rule is indeed 3x plus 2. Okay, so the moral of the story, this is the number that goes in front of your x, right? This is the coefficient of x, okay? And then you have to look at, okay, well, I multiplied by 3. What do I still have to do to get to 5? And that can give you your added on part here, okay? I'm going to look at one more example. Now, this one is a little different because if we look at the inputs, they are going up by 2 each time. And the method we talked about above only works when you know how much it's going up by when the input is going up by 1. So this one's going up by 2 each time. And here, well, it looks like this is subtracting 4 each time. Well, if every time I go up 2, I'm going down 4, that means, well, okay, let's see if I added in another table here for 1. That means if I went up by 1, then I would go down by, well, somewhere in the middle here, 2. Okay? Not 2, this would be -1, excuse me. I'd be subtracting 2. Okay, same idea here. If I was going from, oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Okay, hold on, let's go back. So, if we were going from 0 to 1, we'd be going up by 1, which means we'd have to kind of like cut this in half. So instead we'd be going 9, 5, 3, 1. Okay, here if we were going from 3 to 4, up by 1, up by 2, or down by 2, so this would be -1. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say with this is, here we're going up. For every 2 we go up, we go down 4. And we can kind of think of this as a proportion. So every 1 we go up, we're going to go down 2. Okay, we're basically cutting these in half. So what we're saying is, the coefficient of our x is not minus 4, our coefficient of our x is minus 2. Okay, and once we do that, we need to figure out what we're adding on. So let's try 2 here. So negative 2 times 2 gives us negative 4, and we have to get to 1 from negative 4. So what do we need to add? Well, negative 4 to 1 is about 5 apart. So negative 4 plus 5 would give us 1. Okay, so we think our rule there is negative 2x plus 5. Let's try it. So negative 2 times negative 2 gives us positive 4, plus 5 gets us 9. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus 5 gets us 5. We did that one. So negative 2 times 4 gives us negative 8, plus 5 gives us negative 3. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12, plus 5 gives us negative 7. So our rule is negative 2x plus 5. Okay? So use this method to find out the rules for the other, for the little sheets of paper. And if you have questions, you can come ask me.